Be sure to check out Shay the They's original post. I think it's a phenomenal post. Essentially, what they are talking about is how when a person takes their sad story, something that they've encountered when they've hit rock bottom in life, and turn it into a success story, and how people become angry or envious of that because things didn't work out for you the way that they thought it would. She goes in, or they go into detail much more on their post, but definitely go and check it out. And I'd like to add to that. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I've spent years working with victims of abuse. And there is something that happens when a victim or survivor goes from surviving to thriving. Every single time, and you hear about these people, whether they're celebrities, whether they're average everyday people, that are now in a place to talk about, what they've experienced in their abusive relationship, what they've learned about themselves, and how they came out of it. Now, everyone who's been through that, most people always encounter someone trying to smear their name, trying to put them down in front of other people and, discredit them or dismiss any hard work that they've done. But, as this creator, Shay the They, points out, there's people that often, your abuser, and I've spoken about this before, your abuser will also steal parts of your personality and your identity. But again, they will also steal your story, your surviving to thriving story, and make it part of their narrative. Abusers are never genuine and authentic in a, if you have discernment, if you have a skilled eye, or if you're just patient and you wait it out, you can often catch when the mask slips. You can also tell when they're being deceptive, when they're stealing other parts of the personality, of your personality, but also you can sniff out the inauthenticity. You can also sniff out when they're being deceptive, when they're being mean and trying to put someone down. So if you sit back and you watch and you wait long enough, you can actually see an abuser play out. They're always going to gossip. They're always going to take credit away from someone. They're always going to make dismissive comments and things like that about a person's challenges that they went through and how they overcame. Envy is you guys have heard me say this before, envy is the closest emotion aligned with success. A person will always tell on themselves based on how they act around someone else's success. If they can't be in the room and clap for someone, stand up for someone, or even speak that person's name in a good way, when that person is not in the room, then they are very, very envious. And those are the types of people that you have to stay away from. But as this creator also points out, in a very, soft way, people's demons will get aggravated when you level up, as they call it now, as young people. But when you overcome, when you I can't think of when you overcome your adversities and things like that, and you've overcome your challenges, that's what I'm trying to say, in life, that will aggravate an abuser's demons. And the first thing that they're wondering is, how did you do that? I need to know why I didn't beat you. No one ever defeats me. And then it becomes a game of trying to sabotage and knock you down. It becomes a game to them. It's almost like a competitive game in their mind. Like, well, I have to try to spin the block, right? And humble you. I have to try to spin the block to figure out what their, if there's someone else that helped them do what they needed to do, because I don't believe that this person naturally achieved what they've achieved on their own. I'm not buying, that they went to therapy, and that they got the help they need and they did it an honest and genuine way, because a lot of abusers and a lot of predators think that you go through the game of life navigating it with their predatory thought process just like they do. So when you actually level up, when you actually turn your story into a success story, they are thinking that, oh, there must be a cheat code. There must be something that you're doing, and I've got to get in on that. And furthermore, I've got to get another opportunity to try to take you out and take you down because I don't like what I'm hearing. That makes me look bad. The fact that you're winning makes me look bad, and you want to stay away from people like that. And those people can show up in your family. Those people can show up in your friends. These people can show up in your workplace. These people can show up in your community. These people can show up anywhere where not only can they not stand up and celebrate for you, but they actually want to take you out and almost like display you on their mantle for overcoming and achieving your success. So always, and I've told you guys this before, be careful of people who are envious of your success because they want to try to take it from you and they don't think that you deserve to have it. They don't know about all of the work, all of the elbow grease that you put into yourself to get to where you need to be. All they see is what's on the outside. It's like, oh, now you've achieved something. You have status. People are paying you attention. Or now you look good. So it's more of like this shallow, immature thinking. And all they think is like, I deserve to have that. Or they're doing better than me and I have to instantly take it away from them. So there's a level of entitlement. There's a level of disregard. There is a level of envy like you would not believe. And this is real stuff that actually happens. And this is why I get on here and tell you guys every day, be careful of people who are envious. Be careful of people who abused you and put you in that spot. You know, just because someone has been hurt in their lives and they've experienced trauma, that doesn't give them the right to put you in a position where you have to fight for your life, where you have to fight for your survival, where you have to fight to have somewhat of a good life. But when you get it, you know, make sure that these people are never anywhere around, because I promise you, they always circle the block. They're always missing you, wanting to catch up, wondering what happened, wanting to talk about things and see what we can do, if we could reconnect, or I was just going through a bad time in my life. You know, there's always going to be some sort of excuse, but it's, you know, they're going to try to hide their real motives and agenda. So be very wary of that and make sure that once you get to the other side of things, you don't make space for predators.